Alrighty, so while we have a bit of a gap between the next game involving MLS team in the CONCACAF Champions Cup, and I found out why that is the case because the very next one following this game was Alajuelense versus Pumas, and obviously I'm not going to do a review of that game because I've only reviewed CONCACAF Champions Cup game involving MLS team. But with that being said, this was really the first big test that we see an MLS team facing against a Liga MX opponent, and a very good Liga MX opponent that is in Tigres, and safe to say that yeah, I don't think FC Cincinnati passed the test in this one. I mean, on one hand, yes, they did not lose this game against Tigres, but on the other hand, we when we talk about MLS team playing at home, especially when they're playing at home in the first leg, they absolutely need to win that because we have seen before where teams when they go to Mexico to face against a Liga MX team, and especially MLS team uh go to Mexico and go to the El Volcan to face against Tigres, it's pretty much a death sentence. Pretty much not many teams are able to come alive and El Volcan with a win and move on into the next round. And coming out of this game, there may be hope that Cincinnati can replicate that because I thought Cincinnati actually played pretty well in this one. But the problem is that they just couldn't show that clinical finishing and really couldn't capitalize on a Tigres team that I didn't think Tigres looked very impressive in this game whatsoever. Now, part of that is because they didn't have Andre Pierre Gignac, who is just an absolute killer for MLS team. But even then, again, for Cincinnati, you wonder these missed chances that they had throughout this game is going to come back to haunt them in that second leg if they do not move on into the next round down in Al Volcan. But they got off to a perfect start in this game as just 2 minutes into this game on the first shot of the game, Pavel Buka, he scored from Denke to make it 1-0 in favor of Cincinnati. It's safe to say that Pavel Buka loves scoring in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. That's now his third straight game that he has registered a goal, and just like that, it's a dream start for Cincinnati and was the game's first shot. There was no doubt that Cincinnati was looking confident earlier. They were looking for another, though that was the only shot as we saw in the first 15 minutes. And on the second shot of the game and the first shot for Tigres, it's in the back of the net. It's Ibanez. He scored from Cordova to tie the game up at one apiece. Now Cincinnati feel like the ball actually went out when Cordova delivered this one into Ibanez, but the ref and VAR says no. And I didn't really get a good look at it. It was very close, but I think the ball stay in. It doesn't also excuse the fact that Tina Hidebe should not be beaten uh, by Ibanez there. He got the height advantage there over Ibanez. You simply can't let the attacker jump over you when you're trying to defend a cross as a defender. And yeah, just like that, Tigres were tied. The game was tied at one apiece. And then just 1 minute later, Denke looked to respond, but somehow he puts it wide and missed an absolute sitter that was a tap in. Again, this is the second game in a row that Kevin Denke missed an absolute sitter, and just kind of almost you're basically betting the house that he would score a simple goal like he has so far in his good start with FC Cincinnati. But here, just an absolute sitter that is missed. And again, that is one that I mean, wrote Denke and Cincinnati not only want to get that one back, but that could be costly, especially heading into the second leg. If Cincinnati does not move on into the next round, especially if they missed out on one goal heading into the next round. This goal could come back to haunt Cincinnati in a big way. But that being said, the game did start to even out a little bit. Tigres at time they were looking threatening on the attack as well. Though that being said, they did have turnover problem. They were turning the ball way too much, and unfortunately for Cincinnati, it feels like they were in the gifting mood of just decide not to capitalize on those mistakes that Tigres were making. Guzman then denied Denke after another bad giveaway from Tigres, and then Ibanez looked for his second goal, but he hits one right to Saltano, and that came literally seconds after Guzman denied Denke there. So the game definitely opened up to this point, but we do head to halftime tied up at one apiece between Cincinnati and Tigres. In the second half, Tigres once again having turnover issue, but again, Cincinnati they feel like they were in the gifting mood, or should I say they feel like they're in the forgiving mood in this game because yeah, they're just simply not capitalizing on these good chances that they had winning the ball high up the pitch. Guzman then denied Denke from close in the 52nd minute. I mean, Kevin Denke, he probably should have scored at least a couple of goals in this one. And as much as a good start he's been doing his time with Cincinnati, in these big game like that, they expect their DP striker to deliver, and they really hope that he will next week in this return leg down in Mexico. But there was no doubt that Cincinnati was pressing for the lead back, while Tigres was kind of doing their usual shithousery. We usually see this happen, not just for Tigres, but Liga MX team. They're just going to slow the game down. They're going to try every shithousery in the book. I mean, you literally have the master of shithousery in Nahu Guzman on the other side. So, yeah, you know that they're going to do anything to try to slow the game down and go back to Al Volcan with this crucial away goal. Brunetta then puts it over from long range in the 55th minute before Evander puts it over the bar in the 60th minute, as the shots were actually double in favor of Cincinnati, 8-4 in favor of Cincy 16 minutes into this game. Evander then hits one right to Guzman. Cincinnati was pressing hard to retake the lead. The ref was then he sucked in an explicit way. Yeah, those Cincinnati fans were not happy in terms of some of the call that goes against them. I'm kind of surprised not more MLS team does that, especially in this competition where we have seen so many times where MLS team are just getting CONCACAF because of bad refereeing decision. Oriano then puts it just wide from long range in the 76th minute. The fans then decided to chant "Let him die" to Nahu Guzman after Nahu Guzman does his typical shit house kind of moment. Now, normally when I hear fans chant that, I mean that's a little bit cringeworthy, but I can understand. I mean, again, Nahu Guzman, probably the kings of shithousery. I think if there's any goalkeeper in the world that is not named Emmy Martinez, I think Nahu Guzman might be right up there in terms of the kings of shithousery and the kings of dark arts in terms of goalkeeper. Not just in Liga MX, but maybe in the world of soccer as well. I mean, the amount of the shithousery and the amount of dark arts and the villain act that he plays is just something next level. But in the 84th minute, Saltano would deny Ibanez from close range. There were some Tigres fans that were making noise inside TKL Stadium. So, well, it was majority a Cincinnati crowd. There were definitely some Tigres fans spreading around the stadium. They definitely made their presence up to that point. But in the end, it ends in a 1-1 draw in this one. But certainly that away goal will definitely give the advantage for Tigres heading into the return leg. The shots in this one, 12 shots with the 6 that Tigres had, 4 shots on goal for the 5 that Cincinnati has. Both teams had 2 shots off target, 4 shots off block for the none that Tigres had, and possession-wise, 46% possession compared to the 54% possession that Tigres has in this game. And again, for Cincinnati, this is not the result that they want. And this is always not the resort in MLS team one, which is giving up the away goal heading down to Mexico in the second leg, because if you we know that for most teams, if they are going to beat their Liga MX counterpart heading into the second leg in Mexico, they need to win that first leg, and most importantly not concede an away goal. Well, Cincinnati didn't do that, and now they're gonna have a tall order and kind of do something similar that Columbus did. I think Columbus last year, didn't they drew against Tigres in the first leg, and they were able to get a draw in the second leg and win in the PK shootout? Well, Cincinnati is going to have to replicate that, though. Again, I'm pretty sure Tigres know this situation all and well, and they know they do not want to let it slip again heading into that second leg, especially against another Ohio team. But there you have it. That is pretty much it for the review of this game. As always, let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this match? Obviously, later tonight we have the rematch of the Leeds Cup final and also MLS Cup back in 2023, and started to becoming almost a Seattle versus Toronto FC kind of rivalry between LAFC and Columbus, because both of those teams seems like they always meet in big games. That's going to be very interesting, not only in the first leg, but also in the second leg as well. But yeah, either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys leave a like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.